Hey friends, welcome back to Joe and Tell. I am Joe, and today we are going to be talking about tobacco storage. But before we do that, I wanted to show you pipe number 20, I think. And it is another Peterson. It is the Peterson Red Spigot B11 Fishtail Tobacco Pipe. So it doesn't have a P-lip. It's not a system pipe. It is a spigot pipe. But I saw this on smokingpipes.com. I really liked the deep red color and the grain pattern on that. I also liked that it had a semi-flat bottom, and just thought it was an interesting shape. So that's the pipe, and as you can see, it gets kind of more bulbous at the bottom, so it's cooler to the touch when you smoke it. Yeah, I've enjoyed this pipe. I have noticed with the spigot pipes though that they start to, like, right now, that's kind of like wobbly, and if I'm not careful and I clench it, I'm worried it's gonna fall out of there. I don't know if you guys have had that problem with spigot pipes or not, but there's like a little bit of play in the fit there. But nonetheless, I'm going to light this up, and oh, I forgot to tell you what's in it. I've got some Cornell Diehl Epiphany, which my pipe smoking buddy turned me on to, and it is quite delightful. In fact, I bought like a 2-ounce, I think, sample of bulk to try, and then immediately went and bought like 8 ounces or something crazy. But a little windy out today. There we go. Our neighbors are having their house re-sided, the siding redone. So if you hear that in the background, that's what you're hearing. We walked by it the other day, and they had all the siding off of it. My daughter said, "That looks like a Minecraft house." It was all blocky and black and tan colors. And anyway, you know what I was going to say too? It's interesting that as you start to smoke your pipes, at least for me, I find myself gravitating towards certain pipes that I really enjoy smoking. This is one of them. I like the size of it. It almost always produces a good smoke, no matter what the tobacco, at least so far. I've got another one coming up in the lineup that I go to quite often too, that has become one of my favorites. But that's for another video. Get a little trifecta here going. Right there was that little wobble. I was a little nervous clenching because I didn't know if I was going to lose my pipe. I don't know. Yeah, that's just weird. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about storage and tobacco storage. So as I mentioned with the Epiphany tobacco, I had ordered a like a 2-ounce sample, and you know, I watched a couple of videos, and everybody's saying, of course, you know, mason jars are the way to go for short and long-term storage. And so I went with all wide mouth mason jars of various sizes. I think this is a 2-ounce jar or something. And then I've got my little label on there, what it is, what brand, and the date on which I purchased it, and the fact that it's a bulk tobacco. So what I'll do is I'll get into this daily or whatever I want to smoke, Epiphany, and use this as my, weekly, daily smoke, whatever. Then I have this, which I guess is like a 32 ounce jar. It's the same thing, Epiphany, by Cornell Diehl. This one I bought in September of last year. And so what I'll do is this goes in like a box in my basement for long-term storage. And when the small one runs out, which I'm getting low on that, I'll open this one up and fill that one with this, with a big one, and then continue to use that. So my question here, as I ramble on, is I noticed on the packaging that it says for the canning lids that they will keep for up to 18 months. And I'm sure they're talking about specifically like if you're canning fruits or vegetables or whatever, pickling or whatever you do. So I was just curious if the same applied with tobacco. And if that is the case, do you guys go in and, like, if you do have like a long-term storage situation where you've got a lot of tobacco in a big jar and it's been in there for, let's say, 2 years, do you go in and swap out the seal, the lid and then the little rubber gasket seal every 2 years or so? Or do you just not even care? And for those of you guys who are out there that have some seriously long-term stored like tobacco for like 5-10 years in a mason jar, I would love to hear in the comments down below, if you would, how does the tobacco, how well is it? Is it still like moist? Is it still smokable? Are there any ill effects from not having changed the lid for 5 years? Because before the old mason jars, I would just use like a Ziploc baggie or some glass jar that was not airtight. And it wasn't until my pipe smoking buddy said, "You're going to want to stock up on mason jars." So I did, and I thought, man, I'm never going to fill these up. Well, now I have to go buy more mason jars. I just got too much tobacco. Is that even possible? Can you have too much tobacco? I don't think so. My wife will certainly say you can, and she says I do, but I have to disagree. So that's all I had for you today. Is wanted to introduce you to Pipe 20, which is, again, the Peterson Red Spigot B11 Fishtail Tobacco Pipe, and some Epiphany from Cornell Diehl, which is quite delightful. And then just wanted to know your thoughts on the short and long-term storage and what your guys' methods and processes are. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'd love it if you liked and subscribed, and we will see you in another video.